The voters of District 32 made their voices heard last night. We will see Republican Dusty Devers face off against Democrat Larry Bush in the special general election on December 12th. Here to break down the candidates' platforms is 7 News digital manager Justin Rose, who happens to hold a PhD in political science. Justin, what were your takeaways from last night?
Tara, let's start with the numbers. A total of 3,819 people voted in the Republican primary, while 1,257 people voted in the Democratic primary. Bush won with 73% of the vote, which is a clear majority. However, Devers won with only 37% of the vote. Now, there's not going to be a runoff election because an Oklahoma statute says whoever gets the most votes during a special primary election will be the nominee of their political party outright. So District 32 would choose between Republican Dusty Devers and Democrat Larry Bush in December. Remember that we did hold a debate between all the candidates running in this primary, so we heard a lot about their thoughts on problems and issues within the state as well as within District 32. Dusty Devers leaned a lot on religious rhetoric within his answers, which shouldn't be a surprise because he is a pastor. For instance, when asked the question of whether or not he supported public funds being used to fund religious schools, or if he thought that this was a violation of the separation of church and state, he said that he supported it and that there was no separation of church and state within the Constitution. It is important to point out that the Supreme Court opined way back in 1947 in the case of Everson v. Board of Education that, and I quote, "The First Amendment has erected a wall between church and state." Now, Larry Bush, on the other hand, really made it a point to focus on education. He mentioned this in his opening remarks and sprinkled it throughout his other answers. Bush also mentioned a lot about his experience as a businessman. But while Devers has been outspoken about his platform, Bush hasn't expanded on a lot of details during his campaign, which could leave voters wondering which way will he lean on certain issues. And like Devers, Bush does not have experience working within a state legislature. But unlike his opponent, Bush is a Democrat, which will put him as part of the minority in the Oklahoma State Senate. If Bush did win in December, he would be one of only 9 Democrats within the state Senate to 39 Republican state senators. That could cause him to have some trouble getting stuff done, especially if Bush does not hold the same policy opinions as his would-be Republican counterparts. We will be talking more to these candidates in the near future, so stay tuned to KSWO. For 7 News, I'm Justin Rose.